This hour of the show is brought to you by ZipRecruiter.com. Hiring? Post your job to 100-plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Dave. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. Thank you for joining us. It's your show because we talk about you right in front of you every day. You jump in and we'll talk. The phone number is 888-825-5225. 825-5225. Kayla is starting off this hour in Columbus, Ohio. Hi, Kayla. How are you?
Hi, Dave. My husband and I really appreciate your ministry. Thank you for taking my call.
Well, thank you. How can I help today?
We have a problem where last week we just found out that my husband has $31,000 in student loan debt.
He didn't know?
No, and the reason why is when he started college, his parents said that they would take out loans and pay for his college, and then if he would ever move out, get married, he would then be responsible for the college that he would, do after that time, which he has. After he moved out, he started paying for all of his college out of pocket.
Mm-hmm. So how did these loans end up in his name?
His parents took them out in his name. I guess that was a process that they chose to do.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay.
He would have had to have signed his name.
Well, and he may have signed his name, but I think he was under the impression that even though he was taking out the loans in his name, his parents were going to pay for them.
Oh, I see.
Since he was at home,
and why did they choose? Why did they choose not to do that?
I do not know, and we've talked to his mother about it. His father just passed away a year and a half ago, and kind of all the financial knowledge went with him. His father did leave his mom a very good sum of money to pay for all of their debt so that they could become debt-free, and it was kind of our impression that these loans would be taken care of with that. When we found out about the loans, we asked his mom about that, and she said that these loans were now his responsibility.
Mm-hmm. So how much money was she left?
I couldn't say for sure. I know that she's very well taken care of now.
Millions or 500,000 or 5 million or?
Close to the millions.
Like over $1 million?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so why is she not willing to follow through? Because that was her deal.
She said that it was a good life lesson for us. I told her that
the fact that your mother's a liar. Your mother and father promised to take care of something and they didn't, and that's a good life lesson?
Well, she said that it was unrealistic for us to live debt-free, which we have so far. And she said that, these things just happen and that it was our responsibility right now. I've never taken out a loan. I've never borrowed any money, and so I'm very worried about how.
What is your household income?
Around $30,000. I just graduated with my master's. I was paying that out of pocket, so that will increase in the near future. I'll start working.
Your household income is $30,000, and you both have master's degrees?
No, I have a master's degree. He is still working on his bachelor's degree and paying out of pocket for his school right now. I just graduated with my master's last month, paid out of pocket for that.
And your master's is in what?
Science education, or nursing of science education.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to teach at a hospital.
Okay. And you'll be making how much?
My personal income will probably come up to about 50 to 75,000.
Okay, so your
a
household
year.
your household income now is going to be over $100,000 a year. So there's nothing to wring your hands about. You don't have any debt. You can pay off $31,000. The biggest problem in this conversation is that his mother's a liar.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the biggest problem in the conversation. And I think your husband needs to sit down with his mom and go, "Hey, Mom, you and Dad said you were going to take care of this. This is not a life lesson. This is you being a bum, Mom. You need to freaking follow through. The life lesson is you're a twerp. That's my life lesson." I mean, he can be nicer than that, but that's where this conversation is going to end $30,000 worth real quick. I mean, it's not a life lesson. That's BS. Now, if there's some other bargain that was struck that I'm not getting this conversation, then I guess we can talk about it. You have no legal stand. The legal stand is your husband's $31,000 in debt, and so the two of you are going to take your $100,000 income and pay it off. But I got to tell you, me and Mom are going to have a discussion if I'm your husband.
Yeah.
You're not in a position relationally to have that discussion, but he needs to have his backbone intact and go over there and bust his mom's chops, because she's acting like a test pilot for a broom factory. I mean, she's out of control.
Yeah, I agree. And that was, I guess that's kind of more of the shock than the amount of the money. Is just, I mean, this just came out of absolutely nowhere.
Well, it really didn't. I mean, he knew the money was there, but what came out of nowhere was them reneging on their promise to pay it.
Well, and he had been under the impression that the loans had been paid. He did not know that the loans were outstanding, or not outstanding, but that they were still there. Because,
well, and I got, and if Mom had $100,000 to her name and she was a widow, I might change my tune a little bit. But this chick's sitting on $1 million.
Well, and that's we're starting out, we're newlyweds, and I just graduated. He's getting ready to graduate. So
none of that matters if she hadn't made the promise to pay the bill, and then is reneging on the promise, or her husband hadn't. Daddy. But, you guys signed me up for the student loan debt, Mom and Dad, promising you were going to pay it. And now you need to follow through and pay it. And if not, you got to understand, I'm going to be $31,000 worth of pissed at you. That's my life lesson.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking your husband soft-pedaled this. He's a little scared of his mom.
Well, and they don't do conflict resolution very well.
That's the same thing if he's a little scared of his mom. She does conflict real well. She shoveled $31,000 onto your kitchen table. She's good at it.
Yeah.
But this is your husband I'm talking about. Time for him to man up. That's the story of this. You can't do it. He's got to do it. But she's out of line. And you can tell her I said so. If she wants to call me, I'll talk to her. I'd love to talk to her. That'd be a fun call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Hey, parents, here's an idea. You get ready to send your kid to school, pay for it, or tell them to work, and we're going to work together, and I'm going to pay for it out of my pocket. You're going to pay for it out of your work. You're going to get your scholarships. You're going to go to school you can afford. Don't put your kid in. Don't have your 16 or 18-year-old sign student loan debt, and then you promising you're going to pay the student loan debt. Or you take out these stupid Parent Plus loans. You know what Parent Plus means? It means Parent Plus Stupid. That's what it means. That's what Parent Plus loans are. And that's the crap you people get yourselves into with this stuff. Oh. And now what we've got is we have a relationship on the line with a millionaire widow and a $31,000 loan because she's a liar, because she broke her word. And now you got a family rift that's going to happen. That lady I'm talking to is just a whole lot sweeter than I am. I'm a hillbilly. I can't stand this stuff. It makes me mad just listening to it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Business is easy until people get involved. In order to find the perfect hire, you have to be intentional with your search. You need ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media, all with a single click. You can also find candidates nationwide, all with their easy-to-use interface. Let them help you the way they've helped millions of other businesses. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Dave. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Dave. Thanks for joining us, America. We're glad you are here. Open phones this hour at 888-825-5225. You jump in and we'll talk about your life and your money. I was just out in the lobby just a second ago during the commercial break, and a guy was asking me a question about tipping. And it just made me think about, I haven't reminded you guys in a while. There's a rule if you listen to this show. If you didn't know the rule, I'll tell you what it is. If the pizza guy, when he comes to your door, or pizza gal comes to your door to deliver a pizza, you ask them how they're doing, and they say better than I deserve, that's code for they listen to this show, they're working that extra job to get out of debt. And so you are required to give them an extra large tip. When you're parking your car, if the valet parking your car, if you ask them how you're doing, and they say better than I deserve, you have to give them an extra large tip because they're out there in the heat or the cold or the rain parking your car for you, and they're doing that to get out of debt. That's code for, I listened to the Dave Ramsey Show, I'm in Financial Peace University, I've read the Total Money Makeover book, and I'm getting out of debt. I'm out here working my butt off. That's what that's code for. And so we all got to band together, people. We have to stick together. And some of you that are doing a little better and you're out there running around doing stuff like that, and you're ordering a pizza or you're parking your car, that means that you're in a position to give a nice tip. Which, by the way, let me just help you with this. Some of you need to understand that tipping doesn't say as much about the server as it says about you. You ever carry one of those trays? All right, shut up then. They're heavy. And, well, they shouldn't take that job. No, listen, if you go in there and you can't afford to leave a tip, you don't need to go out to eat. Cheapskate. And Christians are the worst. Servers don't want to work on Sunday because cheapskate Christians go out to eat and don't leave a tip. What kind of witness is that? I mean, leave a track. So you ought to be smacked. Somebody your mother should smack you. Leave a track about Jesus loves you and here's how you meet God instead of leaving a tip. Well, that's more important than a tip. Yeah, it's more important than a tip, but you have no credibility because you're a cheapskate. You lost your relationship with your server in the process. Doofus. Unbelievable. So here's a rule. Leave a tip. Here's a better rule. Be outrageously generous with your tips. Outrageously generous. Now, I don't even have a choice. I kind of don't like it when I get lousy service. Get lousy service out of the kitchen, lousy service out of the waiter, waitress, whatever the server, whatever it is. And sometimes that happens, but I'm my choice, my position, I'll end up on somebody's dadgum blog if I don't leave a tip. I don't have a choice. I have to tip you anyway, regardless. But, most of the time I don't run into that. And if I do, I'm not even in a position to gripe about it because that'll be their Dave Ramsey story that he was in the restaurant griping, and I'm not going to be that guy. So I'll just grin and bear it and eat some food that's not really good and hot because you drug butt getting it out of the kitchen, or whatever, and I'll leave you a tip anyway. But you know what? You're not in that position, most of you. And so leave a tip. Just, be kind. And the other thing is I'm well aware that sometimes the kitchen screws up the deal and the server. But if the food's cold, that's not the kitchen's fault. That'd be the server left it on the window there. That's how it didn't get there. This isn't rocket science, people. So, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Leave a tip. Most of the time, somebody's in there working their butt off, taking care of you, and you need to leave a tip. Let me tell you where you don't leave a tip, and you should. When you stay in a hotel. You ought to leave a tip on the bed. You ought to leave some money laying there to say thank you for cleaning my room. That's just, here's an idea. What happens to you when you're more open-handed with money? When you're more generous in your giving and you're more generous in your tipping, what happens to you? You become more generous. You know what happens to generous people? Generous people smile more. Generous people are the ones that open a door. Generous people are kinder. They're generous in more than just their money. They're generous in how they handle situations. Generous people are more kind. You know, I catch myself when I'm being mean, it's usually when I haven't been generous lately. But I'm a little more compassionate when I'm generous. You are too. And here's the weird thing. The more generous you are, the more attractive you are. Generous people are attractive, not because you think they're going to give you money. That's not it. But they're just nicer people. You ever been around somebody that never gives anything and is selfish? Every time you see them coming, what do they want something. They're not bringing something to the party. They're taking something from the party. These are transactional people. You ever meet transactional people? Whether it's in business, whether it's at work, whether it's at church, whether it's just in your personal life, all they talk about is themselves and what they can get from the interaction. Those aren't generous people. I'll guarantee you people that are that selfish don't give. And I'll guarantee you people who give and who are generous in their tipping are the same people that are kind in conversation and let you actually have something. They ask about you and your kids. You ever have a 10-minute conversation with somebody and as you walk away you go, they learned zero about me and we learned everything about them. That's called self-stinking centered. Hello. That's not a generous person. That's a transactional person. It's a selfish person. They're shallow too. And guess what's weird? They don't get ahead. Generous people have a tendency to prosper. Why? Because they're attractive. Generous people have a tendency to get the promotion. They're attractive. No, jerks get the promotion. So you're one of those other people. When you say something like that, it reveals that you're not a generous person. You live in a world where the glass is half empty instead of a world of abundance. Generous people have a sense of abundance. They think there's enough for everybody and then some. And they're not scraping around trying to squeeze every dollar out of every deal. Now, it doesn't mean they don't negotiate tough, and it doesn't mean they won't ask for a bargain. That's not what I'm talking about. But there's a spirit about this, isn't there? The spirit of generosity. The spirit of generosity necessitates that you're less selfish, that you're more selfless. And when you give, it moves and reforms and crushes and reforms your heart into being less and less selfish. So the more you're giving, the more generous you become in every way, and the more attractive you become in every way. And the weird thing is that opportunities come your way. And that goes all the way back to, did you leave a tip? I left a penny just to prove to them I didn't forget them. That doesn't say anything about them. That says everything about you. Now, is tipping and giving the same thing? No, but it comes from the same place in your spirit, doesn't it? People growling and snatching and pulling and selfish. It's like a kindergartner saying, my toy, my toy, my money. Oh, brother. You miss the point of the whole money thing when you think like that. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm I'm joined today by my daughter Rachel Cruz for the Churchill Mortgage question of the day.
Jessica's afraid to take the leap into homeownership. She has a great job and plenty of money in savings. She wants to know what she should do, rent or buy. Well, Jessica, the fact is buying a home sets you up for building wealth. You're always better off to buy a home if it's a reasonable expense in your budget. Call Churchill Mortgage today, 855-LOAN-200, or go to churchillmortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591, Equal Housing Lender, 761 Old Hickory Boulevard, Brentwood, Tennessee, 37027.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Darren and Sasha are here. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi,
Doing
Dave.
great.
Good. Welcome. Where are you from?
Sacramento, California.
Very cool. Welcome to Nashville. And here to do a debt-free screen.
Absolutely.
I love it. All the way from California. How much have you paid off?
$116,583 very heavy dollars.
I love it. And how long did this take you?
34 months.
And range of income during that 34 months?
Started at $97,000 and all the way up to $123,000.
Very cool. What do you guys do for a living?
I work for a nonprofit after-school program. Also work at a pizza place.
Good for you.
And I'm an audit analyst over at a health insurance company, and I also work at a craft beer tap room.
You work at a chat room, did you say?
Craft beer tap room.
Craft beer tap. That's kind of the same thing. Craft beer tap room, chat room. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm deaf. All right. So $117,000 of heavy dollars. And what was that on?
Oh, the all-American dream, of course. We had cars and school loans and a boat and 11 credit cards and a loan to some family.
You were normal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely normal. Everybody that's walking around looking like they're normal's broke.
Absolutely.
And you were looking normal and acting normal. And how long have you all been married?
Almost 5 years.
Okay. Very cool. And so 2 years into your marriage, something happened. What was the event?
I'm going to let her talk because I'm not really good at telling stories because I never finished the story.
We might be here a while if he tells you the story. We used Groupon because we wanted to save some money, got a room in Sonoma for the weekend, and everything was paid for the room. And we get there and we spent, we had all the money in the world. We bought wine. We went out each night. And when we got home, we didn't have grocery money. Ooh. And at that moment, we kind of self-checked and realized that we needed to do something. We had gotten our taxes done and were told that we made $97,000. We looked at each other and said, we have nothing to show for that. And we had some friends, Shannon and George, that were going through the financial piece with some friends, and they started talking into our ear. And I wasn't listening because we made enough money. We didn't need this. We didn't need a budget. I didn't want to be told what we could or couldn't spend money on. And the more and more information we got, our ears were opened a little bit more. And then we decided to borrow the CD system. And Darren's grandmother, unfortunately, had passed away. And we had a 7-hour drive to get down to where the funeral was taking place. So we listened to your CDs the entire 7 hours there.
Oh, my Lord.
And we packed our laptop to do our first budget in the evening, the night before the funeral in the hotel. So we did that, and
so you fire hosed it, man. I mean, all at once, gulp.
We were taking it all at one time. We were going to do this, get on board. And the day after the funeral, we were told that we were going to inherit $25,000.
Oh my gosh!
And fortunately, God knew we were not ready to handle that amount of money because we would have gone to Europe because we weren't 100% into the lifestyle yet of making sure we were budgeting everything. And fortunately, we didn't actually receive the funds until we were ready for that money. I'm going to let Darren talk to you about how we decided what to do with that money.
Well, we didn't know what to do with the money, and I found you on Twitter because I'm a bird nerd like yourself. So I tweeted you, and you actually answered my tweet.
Whoa.
And you told us what to do with the money. And once we got that answer, we knew we were on the right path.
And the baby step that we were on, baby step number 2, the next thing to pay off was his student loans, and it was exactly $25,000.
Oh, just like that, they're gone.
And so everything lined up in the right amount of time.
So Grandma's smiling because now you're using common sense with her money.
Absolutely.
So she's in heaven grinning and going, yeah, good. At least that one got it right.
Right.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And so that kind of put a little boost to what you were already working on then, put a little rocket fuel on it.
Right.
And so what was the hardest part of this process for you all?
I think probably just not going out to eat. We love traveling, so not traveling. We did a lot more camping instead of hotels and things like that. We also had to sell Darren's beloved truck. We didn't have to; we chose to. And
How much was the truck?
We sold it for $14,000.
When we sold it, we paid off our boat, we paid off a couple credit cards, and we bought cash for the car I drive now. So it was, once I saw the money of what the truck will do, it made sense to sell it.
And it's not forever.
Right.
Exactly.
Now that you're not broke and you make $100 and something thousand a year, you can go buy a truck with
Right.
cash.
We will.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, very good. Excellent, excellent. What was the part of this that when you first started, when you're listening to those CDs and you're going, okay, we got to do this, you kind of got the eye roll, and that's how everybody starts. And you thought, man, this is going to be so hard. And then it was easier than you thought. What was the thing that was easier than you thought it was going to be when you started?
For me, I think that once we put down all of our money that was coming in each month on paper, it made me feel like we got a raise. Like, wow, we really are okay. We're really going to get through this. And
The budget was easier than you thought.
yeah, it put perspective on how wasteful we had been. And it really has been the main thing that's kept us going. I'm a spreadsheet girl, so I have multiple spreadsheets and versions of.
He enthusiastically nods yes. Okay.
It's almost like every day
We know who the nerd is in the family. Okay.
Every day we have a budget meeting.
Okay.
Not once a month.
Review. We just review.
Need to review this again just to make sure you're on track. Yeah. I love it. Very cool. Well, that often comes up because my daughter Rachel Cruz talks about this in a talk she did recently, that the budget actually gives you freedom, and most people think having a plan is going to take your freedom. It's going to be so constricting. But the good news is you're in charge of it, so you get to decide what you constrict or what you expand. But you're just being an adult and doing it on purpose instead of just sitting there broke making $97,000 like most people. You were just normal as you could be. Just normal as you could be. So you've really accomplished this Herculean task of paying off $117,000 heavy dollars. What do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is?
You want to go first? Okay. Budget's number one. Without a budget, without putting it on paper and having a purpose for it, we wouldn't know what to do. But for me, the second one is communication. I've always wanted to say it. It's not doing the financial thing together and paying off the debt together was fantastic. But to me, it goes beyond the budget. It's not only about the money. It strengthened our communication as a marriage. It strengthened our marriage. And I think it's Sasha and I versus the world, and we're winning.
Yeah, you are. Good job. Well done. Sasha?
I definitely think that the budget was the main thing for me. And I think, secondly, to back up what Darren just said, that it really took because I was the breadwinner and really opening my eyes to the fact that this wasn't his versus mine. And we combined our accounts and everything after we started following your plan. And that was something I was really against for a long time. I had been married prior to this and was very, protective.
Yeah.
And I think once we unified everything in our marriage, it really made sense that this is the way a marriage works. And it was, above and beyond just the financials. And
anybody make fun of you guys?
Not necessarily fun of us, but I think just a lot of sideways looks and, well, that's interesting type of.
Aren't you different?
Yeah.
You lost your independence. Now you're married. Yeah.
But now everybody's asking us, it's like, well, you guys did that. It's incredible. How'd you guys do that?
Yeah, now they want to know.
Yeah,
now they want to know. Yeah, they may not do it, but they at least want to
Right.
know. Yeah, I love it. Very cool. All right, Darren and Sasha, they're free, baby. Sacramento, California, $117,000 paid off in 34 months, making 97 up to 123. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
Excellent. Well done, well done, well done. Man, that's good stuff. So you want to get on a budget like that? Jump on everydollar.com. It's a free online budget tool, the best there is out there anywhere. Did I mention it's free? It takes about 10 minutes to do your budget, and there's a free iPhone app too. Every Dollar. Our scripture of the day, 1 Peter 5:3, not domineering over those in your charge, but being examples to the flock. James Buchanan said, the test of leadership is not to put greatness into humanity, but to elicit it, for the greatness is already there. Man, that's beautiful. Well said. Tony's with us in Modesto, California. Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. Thanks for taking my call. I'm calling today to help you get some help with my debt-free journey. My wife and I have just started on this, and basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to take a big chunk out of it by renting out our place, our home, and we're going to be moving into an RV, living in it full-time, and until we get all of our debt taken care of.
How much debt do you have?
We have a total of about $89,000.
On what?
22 is in credit cards, and the rest is Fannie Mae.
How much do you owe on the RV?
Nothing yet. That's actually was one of my questions.
Yet? You haven't bought it?
No, we haven't even bought it yet.
Oh, okay. Whew, good. Okay. And how much is your household income?
79 a year.
Good. And how much is your house payment?
$602.
And what is the house worth?
$245.
And what do you owe on it?
$139.
Good. Okay. Well, you're asking my opinion. You're not going to like it because you're kind of emotionally deep down into this plan. I think it's a really bad plan because you're going to buy an expensive piece of machinery that goes down in value very, very rapidly.
Okay.
RVs are horrendous on their depreciation, how much they lose in value. It's scary how much they lose and how fast they lose it. So you're just starting your get out of debt plan, aren't you?
Yeah, very, very beginning, yes.
Okay. What I would ask you to do, if I were in, the way I answer questions on this show, Tony, is what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? Okay?
Right.
Is if I woke up in your shoes, the first thing I would do is I would give this 6 months to a year really, really hard, tight budget, living with your very modest house payment. You have a great house payment. It's very low.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's just attack this debt as hard as we can. Let's see how we're doing there. Okay?
Okay.
Do you hate your house?
No, it's a wonderful home. Love it.
Okay. Then if you absolutely are stuck and you look up a year from now and you paid off $2,000 or $5,000 instead of $20,000 or $30,000 like I think you should, you might have to sell the house and use that money to clear the debt. But I would not rent it out and live in an RV.
Okay. Yeah, I only came up with the idea in hopes to get this debt taken care of quickly.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your willingness and maybe your family's willingness to sacrifice at that level. Dave might live in an RV. I can tell you I'd be by myself, though. Sharon ain't going. So I don't know how that works at your house, brother, but I know how to work at mine. So she'd be going, enjoy yourself there. So, but anyway, that I think the house is an asset. It's going up in value. I don't want renters moving in your home and destroying it while you're living in an RV. And I think there's family aspects of this that are involved as well. Now, have you and your wife gone through Financial Peace University, our 9-week class yet?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. We have a 9-week class on how to handle money that includes budgeting and getting out of debt and investing and all the stuff that you need to know. Okay?
Okay.
You go to class once a week for 9 weeks. There are classes taught in your area there. It's about $100 to go through it, and I want to give it to you as my gift to you guys.
Wow. Thanks, Dave.
Okay? So I'm going to put you on hold. Kelly's going to pick up. It's called Financial Peace University, and she'll help you find a class or teach you how to do that, and we'll pay for you guys to go through. The two of you, you and your wife, need to attend, both of you. And then you guys work that plan really hard, really diligently for a year, and I think you're going to see substantial progress to where you'll be glad you didn't do the other plan, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Dave.
Hey, man, you hold on. Kelly will pick up, and we'll help you do it. Call me back, too, and let me know how it's going after you get going. I want to hear how you're making progress and it's working for you. All right, let's go to Ashley in Maryland. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up in your world?
Well, I am looking for some tough love words of encouragement for my husband and I. He is currently looking to apply to graduate school, and the program he is looking at, typically there are about 4,000 applicants. A couple hundred might get selected for an interview, and between 40 to 80 will get selected. So it's about a 4% acceptance rating.
What is he studying?
The program will be for a physician assistant, a master's for a PA.
Okay.
And
there's a lot of PAs out there. I don't know if they're only doing 40 at a time, how that's happening. So the particular school that you're talking about.
There's a lot of schools we've been looking at, and there's a few that have actually told him that too bad you weren't applying here 5 years ago. We needed applicants, and now we're getting bombarded by people.
Yeah.
It's become a really popular career field in the last several years.
What does he do now? What does he do for a living now?
So he was active duty in the military, and while he was active duty, what's been really tough is he decided that he wanted to pursue the PA route, and so we decided for long-term career goals, it would be best for him to get out and be in the reserves and focus on going to the PA route full-time. So we've taken a huge hit in income as well because of that, and we're just worried that if he does not get accepted to PA school this year, is it just another year of having this huge drop in income? When he was active duty, we were doing really well for both of us working. We were traveling all the time. We could afford to fly and see our family whenever we wanted to. So we know what it's like to be living well. And now with this hit to the income, it's been a really hard time.
Why did he leave before he was accepted?
Because he had to do some prerequisite courses in order to apply to the programs themselves. And he also needed to build up patient contact hours. And so he would not be able to be full-time in the military and be getting the prereqs done that he needed to.
Okay, so he's got all of that done.
Yes, so he's really done.
So here, all we have to have here is a plan, all right? Plan A is he's accepted and you play through with the goal, okay? Plan B is he's not accepted. What do we do then?
Yeah, it's just try again, I suppose. It's just being
No. I mean, while he's trying again, how are you eating? Plan B involves him getting a job, but while he's trying to get accepted somewhere.
He does, but it's definitely not paying as well as when he was active.
What is he paid now?
Right now he's working as an EMT, and he just started doing that, and he's only doing that to build up patient contact hours, which are required for PA applicants. Has
he already got all the patient contact hours he needs?
No.
What?
No, he does not.
Okay. All right.
And he could always have more. They say, the more the better. Even if he meets the bare minimum with patient contact hours, it's always good to far exceed that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you can only go along so many years not getting accepted and playing EMT. So if he gets in and within a couple tries, then that's fine. If not, then he probably needs to back up and look for a different career track, because what you're saying is you can't put your life on hold but so long. That's what I think I'm hearing in this discussion in between the lines of you asking these questions. But I mean, PA is certainly a great career track. There's no question about that. PAs can do, if they manage themselves and their practice very well, they can do very, very well. I know several that do. But again, I think you may look at moving to be accepted in another location, and you may look at lots of different things to accomplish the goal of getting into the school. And I think that's what your primary goal has to be, that, and you're going to sacrifice a lot of things to get there. My guess is, or that's my guess anyway. So, hope that helps. I don't have a perfect answer, but you can only put your life on hold for so long. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to James Childs, our producer. Blake Thompson's our senior executive producer. Kelly Daniel, our associate producer and phone screener. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey guys, it's Blake Thompson, Senior Executive Producer of The Dave Ramsey Show. This hour of the show is over, but you can also watch the show in HD video 24/7 on our free mobile app on our website at daveramsey.com. It's all free. We're everywhere to serve you.
Hey guys, this is Dave Ramsey reminding you to catch the Dave Ramsey Show live on our YouTube channel weekdays from